Welcome to Ajaccio and Bonaparte's house. We didn't keep much of the ping pong video, but please like, subscribe, and ring the bell.
Maison Napoleon. Maison Bonaparte is the ancestral home of the Bonaparte family. It is also the birthplace of Napoleon I. The Maison Bonaparte was converted into a national museum in 1967. So you can easily go to Ajaccio in Corsica and visit the house of the Bonapartes. The museum today showcases the Bonaparte family's history and life. One interesting thing to note is the Casa Bonaparte was burned and looted during a conflict with Pascal Paoli, and it later was repaired and remodeled, so it's not in its original shape. The Bonaparte family's connection to the house dates back to the 15th century, with the first Bonaparte to move to Corsica, Francesco.
Up the streets. Steep, steep street.
Fesch Square at night.
Broken. It's going to come off the next time I try and pull on it. So we're going to cut it off and then sew on a new piece. Same length. And we're just going to sew it in here over top of the existing one. It doesn't need to be pretty. And so test the fray. Use your lighter.
Good job. I got you a new lighter.
Now we're going to sew this on with our fancy dancy sewing needle.
But how are you making the needle ready?
Well, there is a slot in the needle that the thread runs through, and then there's a notch in the holder. So you've got to run everything down the same sectionally sharp needle. Like that. Pull out a little tail on there, put it through here, and we're going to pull out a bunch of the tail, and then we're going to stitch down here, and then the other side. This is the tail. Try and stab our finger with the first time we pull it through here. Through, and then back. All it out. 1,000 different YouTube videos on how to do this. Here, stitch.
You did stab your finger already.
Okay. But I've tapped my finger several times, and it's exceptionally sharp. So, put a stitch through, we pull it back until we get a loop. We pull through our tail again, and then we pull back the stitch, and then we do it again. Stitch through, pull back. Tail.
Excited.
Do that. And again. For our stitching later. And extra. Here. Paired fish.
Yay!
Hey! Look at him go! Chasing after all the seagulls.
Attempting to go for our mission to go tower. The Sanguinaires Island. Sanguinaires.
Round 2 for going to see the tower. Weirdo.
Sanguinaires Islands. West of Ajaccio.
Well, we made it to the tower. Unfortunately, it's forbidden to go up there because there's a chance of rock falls. So I don't know. There was people on it Thursday. They were working on it. Another Genoese tower that we can't visit.
We made it though.
We didn't make it. There's a big
Wow, okay.
there's a big hill there that we had have to climb. With lots of people here. I think there's a cruise ship that came in and all the people.
Still sitting on his rock. Mine, 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 mine.
Napoleon the First of France, born at Ajaccio, 1769, and died 1821. Not terribly old for a guy who took over most of the world. Well, most of the European world.
Making it all the way up here to take a closer look at Napoleon overseeing Ajaccio.
At the top of the stairs by the statue of Napoleon, emperor from 1804 to 1815. It's quite the view from here.
So Napoleon had bowls behind them, cannon bowls, and these guys are playing bowl too. Kashtan from this tree. And I like this even more with the plants on the building.
I love the symmetry in the buildings.
In Ajaccio, I'm looking at the sunset falling on the hills, palm trees everywhere. This is Musée Fesch. Lots of beautiful paintings.
Scatty, scatty, scatty steps. Why are you weird? Nightlife in Ajaccio. Restaurants and pubs are open now because it's 8 p.m. So this is when the French start eating dinner.
Little sailboats. What do you call them? Lasers? Lasers. Little lasers going like in a train. That's so cute. Leaving Ajaccio. Look at this big cruise ship heading into the freedom. Just left Ajaccio. There's the ferry terminals. A little nice morning. French standards, of course. This is morning, 11 o'clock.
Another
But you get it.
Another Genoese tower over here. I think there's 150 on the island of Corsica. Like that. Going just into this little bay here to anchor and have some lunch. And then we're off to our anchorage for night.
Look at that tower sitting right on that green hill. Not far from Ajaccio.
Alright, we're at the Genoese Tower, Campo di Muro. And this is where we're going to stop for lunch. Deanna's doing the little lunch dance.
This looks cooler coming closer to it.
Now we found a lovely little spot to anchor here. Kind of protected from the wind, but kind of not. See the anchor on the ground. Missed all the little rocks around there. Lots of fish coming to visit. And we got our Genoese Tower up here.
David's throwing cookies now. And I get to record this madness. Look at this, look at this, look at this. There are all kind of fishies. Blue ones, red ones. Look at the color of the water. And I get to throw some as well. That is so exciting. Did they come? Come fishy fishy. Look at that.
I picked the nicest places to go for lunch. Look at this. Look at how pretty this is here. Deanna's got me saying fishies.
Yeah.
Nice lunch and a lovely nap. Bye, Genoese Tower. You're pretty.
What else could you ask for? I have old tower, And the ship.
Big old gaff-rigged ship on the horizon. Looks like he's probably heading towards Ajaccio. I'm not sure why he's got all of his sails up. There's no wind. There's no wind.
Beautifulness. I cannot describe. This is crazy. Look at this beauty.
Look what the sun is doing for us. We are on the south side of Corsica on our way to Bonifacio. And we get this lovely sunset behind the clouds here.
We're sailing. Celebrities flying.
Got a nice little sail going, 6.5 knots, 2 reefs in the main, 2 reefs in the jib. Heading up to Bonifacio. About time to get some wind in the right direction here. What a gorgeous day.
Heading towards Bonifacio and the southern part of Corsica. Books all around. Some very cool caves.
I don't belong here anymore. This is not
Such a beauty area. Rock formations are crazy. Like, looks like the whole town is in a floating dock.
Here's Bonifacio. We're gonna go a little bit past it so we can put out the fenders and get the dinghy ready for docking. But what a pretty, oh, Bonifacio, pretty face.
This is cool. Look at this. There are people on top of the. So you see the scale of this craziness, this madness. For another
There's
time.
people going up those stairs. Holy shit.
Stairs?
Those are stairs.
No. What?
This is a stairwell going up there. People are walking up those stairs. That's insane. You get a little bit closer, but look at this place. This is so pretty.
And look at this big boat going so close. This is a beautiful picture right here, actually. Wow. Looking at these rock formation, all the cliffs and cliff faces. Maybe that's where it comes from, the naming. Absolutely insane. Like, this is madness. This is craziness. Real madness. I don't think we've seen anything like this all around Corsica. Each town has its significance, I guess. But this is pretty and very, very different. We followed where the cruise boat, the touristy boat was going, and he went between these two rocks. That's insane.
A cool nook in between those two big rocks. A touristy boat just went into that spot. Not big enough for me though.
We are heading towards the marina inside. This is cool. There are people there. And over there. It's crazy. Looks rocks.
Very nice protected little anchorage in here. Set aside in the bay. Look at the sandstone formations up there. That's really cool. You can get like 5 boats, 6 boats in there, all tied stern to. Mistaken, this one says no anchoring in there. There's a little beach in there. What he's doing?
Insane. So pretty. That's crazy rock formation. Saying I think this is the anchorage. fascinating how all the building has to go around nature.